That one? Yeah.
Yes, but I saw you song slam too.
Oh, that's right.
You
yes.
actually were playing the piano.
I did play piano. I played piano for my own. Song Slam was an event where composers got to submit their own songs, and lots of composers played the piano themselves. So I couldn't afford you. So Kuang-Hao, what else have you been up to lately? I mean, you got a very busy freelance profile here in Chicago.
I mean, it's kind of your typical mishmash of things. I actually played a concerto last week, and I'm playing a few things with the Chicago Philharmonic in the coming weeks. A lot of movie music, actually. So that's kind of fun summer affair. And then summer's usually my time to kind of kick back a little bit because I don't have to teach as much as I do during the regular academic year. So.
Got it. And I'll talk to Robert now. Obviously, your day job is a bit further downtown at Symphony Center, but I'd like you to talk about the history of the Chen String Quartet, because it was founded in sort of odd circumstances, and it's kept going.
Yeah, my wife thought, it was a good idea to take the family and go and play at various community centers for senior citizens and so on and so forth, and it kind of just took on a life of its own from there. And during the pandemic, we were able to stream from our living room into people's rooms at these retirement centers, and I think it was a very valuable resource for those people, and also for us, because after all, we're musicians and we really want to be playing and giving in this way.
And during 2020, when things were very locked down and people were streaming from their houses, and occasionally you'd have couples who might play complementary instruments, but your household was that rare commodity that had a fully formed chamber group we're all in each other's bubbles. So just to clarify, today and in general, you'll be on first violin, your wife Laura Park Chen on second violin, and your children Beatrice and Noah on viola and cello. So was it a deliberate choice from you and Laura to raise two kids who would complement you in a string quartet?
No.
Okay. They chose their own path.
Yeah. I think now we're looking at ourselves and we think, what have we done? We sent our children on the same path as ourselves. But I think the truth is, when you grow up with the music around the house, it happened very naturally. We didn't force them to play any music. They kind of wanted to do it themselves, and they wanted to take part in the music making, and we were sort of the envy of my colleagues, because we were actually able to sit around and play music together during the pandemic, whereas most musicians were just stuck at home by themselves.
And that is the essence of chamber music, making music with friends. And when you can't see your friends, it's just making music with family. Have you had a string quartet in the past? I mean, obviously your day job is in an orchestra, but have you had a regular quartet recently? Or?
I wouldn't say regular. In 1997, I started a string quartet called the Johannes Quartet with colleagues from the Philadelphia Orchestra and a colleague who was at the Curtis Institute at that time, and that was basically our hobby. Like we really wanted to explore the string quartet repertoire, which is vast, and some of the most wonderful music is written. Some of the most profound music is written by various composers for the string quartet medium. So we just wanted to be able to immerse ourselves in that and really choose music that we wanted to play, not music we were told, you have to play. So
I'll turn now to the music on today's program, and I was going to ask Kuang-Hao about this. There's just one piece. It's going to take up most of the 45-minute concert, and it is Brahms' Piano Quintet in F minor. So that's a string quartet and a piano. And Kuang-Hao, there's a bit of a story about how Brahms came to the final form of this work. It wasn't always a piano quintet.
Right. So, yeah, it went through several guises. It started off as a string quintet. So it'd be string quartet plus an extra cello. And then it went to its two piano form. And actually, Robert and I were just talking about this in back. I myself have never heard the string quintet version, but he says that he's actually heard it. So I didn't realize that it was still in existence. But the two piano version actually still gets played quite a bit.
I thought Brahms burned the string quintet version. Have you heard one?
it must have been reassembled somehow.
Fair enough. Because so some sneaky 20th century musicologist having a go at it. But it is kind of interesting that you can hear the influence of Franz Schubert's string quintet, especially in this joyous scherzo third movement. That if you're familiar with the Schubert quintet, it's a scherzo. It's supposed to be the light-hearted movement, but it really sounds like the finale to the piece, and it does in this Brahms quintet as well. So joyous and so finale-like.
Right.
Yeah. And have you played that Schubert quintet in the past, and you see the resemblance?
No, unfortunately, I have not had the. Oh, you mean the Schubert?
The Schubert string quintet.
Oh yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking about the Brahms. It's like, oh no. Yeah, the Schubert cello quintet is another one of those canons of Western music, and like the piano quintet.
Yeah, and Brahms was in his early career when he wrote this, and he wrote a lot of quite long chamber works. You look at first piano trio, it's over 40 minutes, couple of string quartets piano quartets that are over 40 minutes. And he was on a way to writing a symphony, but he was sort of hesitant to say, this is going to be my symphony number one, because he was in the shadow of Beethoven so much. But do you see hints of Brahms's symphonies in this earlier quintet here?
Absolutely. I think Brahms is one of those composers, unless he's writing for, let's say, solo piano or a voice, his music always has a very symphonic sonority to it, and you'll hear it in the piano quintet.
I would say even in the early piano works, it's very big writing.
Big,
Not
yeah.
until the later stuff that the piano stuff gets a little bare.
So just repeating what Kuang-Hao said off mic. Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. Early piano writing, he's young. Brahms is making big bombastic statements like you might hear in this quintet, and then the later piano work can be gorgeous and introspective and quite in contrast to this.
You can sort of draw a parallel between him and Beethoven. I think Beethoven wrote a lot of piano sonatas, violin sonatas, and string quartets. And I think that's how he experimented with all the various different facets of how to put this music together before he, presented his first symphony. And you see that in Brahms's writing. It's like he went through several variations of the same piece of music with the same material, even.
Yeah. How do you construct a 45-minute work? It's kind of everything by Brahms is 45 minutes, it seems.
Yeah.
So the first movement, we've got this sort of uncertain start with a bit of a chromatic theme. Doesn't quite get underway. It's not a straight out of the gates sort of piece. It's a bit hesitant. The second movement has these warm, slow melodies, and the third movement sounds like it's a finale. It sounds like, ta-da, this is the triumphant end. But no, it's just, oh yeah, we're having fun. This is the scherzo, and then there's a real end. How you doing? It's really quite a journey, and I'm glad that we get to hear just this one piece on the concert today, starting at 5:45. So what's coming up next for the Chen Quartet?
Well, actually, I don't really know. I mean, see, my wife is in charge of organizing concerts for us. So, of course, she informs us that you're going to be playing on this day and this day, and
shared iCalendar.
That's right. Yeah. I show up for the gig.
But I guess it might be more of a summer thing going forward, because of course both your children in the quartet, Beatrice is at Curtis and Noah is at Juilliard in undergrad.
Well, this summer is a particularly important summer for us because my daughter, who is 19, she'll actually be starting work. So she's going to be working at the Grant Park Music Festival this summer.
Oh, good.
And so for our family, it's the first time that we've actually spent we're going to be spending a whole month apart in the summer. Usually we all travel to the Aspen Music Festival, where the kids hang out and, soak in the rays and go hiking or whatnot. And
I was in Colorado this time last year on my honeymoon, and it's that hiking is no joke in temperatures like this. So yeah, that's great news for Beatrice, getting orchestral work at such a young age as well.
Right, yeah. And in September she'll be starting in the Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
You buried the lead on that one, is it? So a full-time job?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a monumental shift for our family.
Saves on commuting costs, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. Thank you so much, Kuang-Hao. I'm just going to, before we finish up here, I'll give you a couple of notices of other International Music Foundation concerts coming up. Tomorrow, there is the Dame Myra Hess Memorial Concert. It's at the 17th Church of Christ Scientist. That's on the corner of Wacker and Wabash, just less than a mile south of here. And that has two Chicago locals, Ani Aznavourian and Marta Aznavourian, sisters who are playing Armenian music off their recent album on CD Records. That concert's also going to be live on WFMT on 98.7 FM and WFMT.com and streamed on Facebook. And then the next Rush Hour concert 1 week from today, right here, it is the St. James Cathedral Choir. They don't have far to go. They'll be singing music by Undine Smith-Moore and the complete Requiem of Maurice Duruflé, joined by the organ scholar here, Meg, her name escapes me right now, Meg the organ scholar. And of course, Make Music Chicago is next week on Tuesday, June 21st. Kuang-Hao ran that event for many years. Isn't this year, but what sort of event is, I know that you're not running it, but what sort of event is Make Music Chicago?
So basically there's a lot of free music performances all around the city. But as the name implies, it really is about trying to get people to make music. So there are lots of music-making opportunities for just sort of everyday Joe. So if you were to head over to the Riverwalk, there are various activities there that allow you to make music yourself.
Wonderful. And there'll be locations everywhere from Little Village to Rogers Park. All the details are on makemusicchicago.org. Will you please join me in thanking Robert Chen and Kuang-Hao Huang. Thank you so much, and the concert will start at 5:45. Save your clapping, please. Welcome to this Rush Hour concert in St. James Cathedral. I'm Robbie Ellis. This Rush Hour concert series is presented by the International Music Foundation, which is grateful for support from the Claire, Rush Hour Concert's exclusive media sponsor, the National Endowment for the Arts, and the Illinois Arts Council. This particular concert is generously sponsored by the Zell Family Foundation. And now to perform Johannes Brahms' Piano Quintet in F minor, please welcome pianist Kuang-Hao Huang and the Chen String Quartet, Robert Chen, Laura Park Chen, Beatrice Chen, and Noah Chen.
Thank you.